Hey guys, it's Kasha here. I wanted to share with you a really important topic today that's very, very dear to me. It is called choosing faith over fear. Now, I believe this is a total game changer of a topic, and it's something that I really strive to embody in my own life, and it's something that really comes through in a lot of the work that I do with clients. So I wanted to talk to you today about the importance of choosing faith over fear and how you live your life and how much of a difference it actually makes, because we are such powerful creators that we're often creating things that we don't want simply because we are choosing fear much more of the time than we're choosing faith. So today it's really what I wanted to focus on is this topic of faith over fear, and it's really comes down to that space of stepping into the unknown, because when we step into the unknown, we really have all kinds of different probabilities that exist, and you can step into the unknown from a place of faith, trusting that you are going to be guided and supported and that everything is actually working out for you. Or you can choose to step into the unknown from a place of fear, which is where a lot of people get caught up in. We get caught up in going down that fear pathway, and it actually ends up creating lots of worry, anxiety, and dysfunction in our lives. So that's something that I think is such an habitual pattern in our world. When you think about how often do we worry about things that have not happened yet, right? Like it's I know for myself, it's something that still comes up, and it is something very, very normal. And fear obviously is something that, it's designed as a mechanism to also protect us from danger. So don't think eradicating fear completely is the solution. But think about how often we're worrying about things that haven't happened yet from the future, right? And what would happen if we use that same amount of energy that we use to worry about things that haven't happened yet, and we use that same amount of energy to focus upon, like, what if everything goes really, really well? And we think about trusting that everything is actually working out for us. Because really, faith and fear require us to believe in the unknown, to believe in something that hasn't happened yet. And so whether you choose to focus on believing in the negative of something that may happen, or whether you choose to believe in the positive of something that may happen, you're going to experience very different things on the journey of that thing happening, right? So for example, like I currently am creating a really big passion project of mine, which is a film company that has the purpose of creating more awareness in the world on the power of choice that we have. And it requires me to step outside of my comfort zone and create something I've never done before. And I've realized that I can approach creating this company from two different perspectives. So one of them is thinking about all of the overwhelming things that I have to do, all of the unknowns of not really knowing what's going to happen, thinking about all of the problems and challenges. It's a company that's innovative in that it's going to use virtual reality technology to help viewers understand the power of choice. So it's creating films that have never really been done before. So there's all of these unknowns, and if I think about all of the potential challenges and what's ahead, I can get very overwhelmed, very frustrated, and feel lots of anxiety. However, I can also look at the journey of and the excitement of building something that I believe is going to create a big impact in the world, and it's something that I'm so passionate about, and trusting in that journey of it unfolding and seeing how the pieces are coming together, seeing how the right people are showing up, seeing how, every day I'm taking small steps to make it happen, that makes the journey very rewarding and fulfilling and inspiring. Despite the problems and despite the challenges and despite all the unknowns, it's this place of choosing to have faith and trust that it's going to happen, and I get to watch it unfold, and I get to be a part of co-creating that and really being fulfilled by seeing that journey unfold. So it's really down to that choice between either me choosing fear, which is going to create a very frustrating, stressful experience of creating this company, or it's me choosing faith, which means I'm going to be creating a very inspiring, exciting experience of creating this company, even though there will still be problems and there will still be challenges, but I get to choose how I interpret that along the journey, because the challenges and the problems are also helping me to grow and develop things in myself that I haven't developed yet. So again, I can look at it as it's all happening for me. And so in my own life, this is happening, and it's something that I also see within a lot of work that I do within therapy and coaching, is that really our realities get created by those choices of whether or not we're stepping into the unknown based from a place of fear or faith. So the trap that we get caught up in, that I see so often happening, is that we think of an outcome that we don't want, and we start worrying and getting anxious about it, and then we then think that we need to keep worrying about it in order to somehow prepare ourselves for that potential worst case scenario, right? But what we don't realize oftentimes is that actually by worrying about it, it's affecting the way we feel, and it's going to affect the way that you show up in that situation, and you're increasing the probability of it actually happening if you're coming from a place of anxiety. So, for example, let's say you have a job interview and you really are excited about potentially getting this job, and you really, really want it, you desire it. So, but you worry about potentially not getting it, or how you're going to perform in the interview, or whether the people that are hiring are going to like you. And now you've got all these potential scenarios going through your head before you go to the interview of what if I mess up the questions? What if I, don't get the job? What if they don't like me? And think about what kind of an effect that has when you start going down that path of worrying about something that has not happened yet. It's going to create a feeling of anxiety and stress. Your body is now going to have, when you're feeling those emotions, is going to create all kinds of chemical stress reactions in your body. See, in your body, it's going to release cortisol. So now your body is you're also feeling the physical effects of stress and anxiety when you go to the interview, right? Your heart's beating faster, you might be breathing quicker, maybe your muscles are tensing, you're kind of in this fight or flight mode. When you show up at the interview in this state of anxiety, what are the chances that you actually, because you're feeling all those emotions, that you might end up creating that reality, that you might end up forgetting what you want to say, that you might not be able to focus, that you won't be relaxed and calm enough, that your body language will be tense, and you might appear a bit maybe cold and standoffish? You can see what I'm saying, you can see where I'm getting at, right? That the way you show up in that situation, because you've already created this reality of things that you don't want to happen, when you show up in that situation and you're focusing on that, you're actually more likely to create that outcome because of the stress and the anxiety that you're feeling in your body and the images in your mind of what you don't want. So take the same situation and imagine that you went into that interview with faith. So the faith of trusting that you don't need to worry, that whatever the outcome is, it's meant to happen, and that you are going to do your absolute best, that you're going to enjoy the process, you're going to just be excited about the opportunity to get to apply for this job and share your enthusiasm and be able to convey how much you want to work there. Like, it's a completely different perspective that will probably create different emotions within you, because now you're excited about the job interview, you're excited about going there and about really being able to share that desire of wanting to work there. You're going to enjoy the process more, and you'll probably come off feeling more confident and relaxed and enthusiastic, because your body is now in that space of positive emotions, right? You still might feel a bit nervous maybe, but it's a different kind of energy. And so you can see how that will increase the probability that you actually will enjoy the interview, that you will appear more friendly, that they will like you, that you most likely will get the job. So again, not saying that in absolute terms it's going to give you the required outcome, but it increases your probability. So we're doing this all the time. We're creating our realities. We're increasing our probabilities of things going our way or not going our way by how we show up in different situations. And how we show up in different situations is based on what we already are thinking, feeling, believing when we go into that situation, right? And if we've already thought about that situation previously, and we've thought about it from a fear-based perspective, then when we go into that situation, it's literally like we've already programmed ourselves to create the thing that we're afraid of versus the thing that we actually want to create. So think of it like this as well. If you had a friend who was coming to you for support and help and advice, they were really struggling with something, and they said, I'm really struggling with this, can you help me out? And you noticed what their problem was, and you believed that you could help them, and you really wanted to help them, and so you let them know, absolutely, I can totally help you. I just need a bit of time to figure out the right solution, and I will get back to you and help you out. So we'll sort this thing out. So you conveyed the message to them, and this friend, on the one hand, let's say they chose to fully have faith in your abilities and to trust you that you know what you're doing and you're going to help them out. So they conveyed a sense of patience, waiting for you to get back to them, appreciation and gratitude, and just a level of confidence in your abilities to help them out. So your interaction with them will probably be very positive, right? Like, what kind of a feeling does that evoke in you when someone really puts their faith and trust in you and appreciation and gratitude? You're going to want to help them, right? Now, that same friend, if they took a fear-based approach, they might agree for you to help them, but they might also be coming at you from a fear-based agenda, where maybe they might start asking you, can you really help me? I'm not really sure if you can help me, and I'm really worried that maybe you won't be able to, and I'm wondering, like, how are you actually going to make it happen, and when are you going to make it happen? And they start giving off this energy that is very fear-based. And so what kind of an influence does that have on you if you have someone that is really doubting your ability to help them, that is so anxious that they're not able to be patient and just allow you to take your time to come back to them, but they're really sort of coming at you like, I don't know if you can help me, and can you really help me? And then most likely it will send off a vibe that puts you off from actually helping them, right? And so this is what we're doing all the time. It's a similar situation when we are that friend, where we are either putting our trust and our faith in someone or a situation and thinking, I totally believe that this situation, this person's going to help me, this situation is going to work out, and I'm just so appreciative. That person is more likely to want to help you. versus when we're going to that situation from a fear-based perspective. So we're doing this all the time when we are stepping into situations that really are, it's like stepping into the unknown and we don't fully know what's going to happen. But we will block ourselves if we continue to habitually choose fear over faith. We will block ourselves from receiving the very things that we desire. So this is why it is such an important message to really start practicing the habit of faith over fear. And remember that faith is a belief where you trust fully that everything is happening for you, it's happening for your greater good, that everything is working out for you in perfect timing, and that you don't have to worry. You can sit back and relax and just enjoy the process that's unfolding. Fear is a belief that, oh my God, what if? And then you list all these different potential negative scenarios that you don't want to happen, and you start thinking about them and ruminating over them and thinking about how awful you're going to feel when that happens. And now you're kind of coming into that situation from a place of anxiety and worry and fear. And that always, always, always decreases the probability that you're actually going to get what you want. So what I encourage you to do, if this message is helpful, is to start out practicing faith over fear in small ways. Like start thinking about things that you really desire and trust that those things are on their way to you. Start trusting that things are working out for you. You don't have to go for super big things. Just start doing it in small ways, like little things that you want to happen, and start noticing what happens when you start practicing that habit, right? Because remember, these habits are formed over years of negative conditioning. What I see is that when we're born as children, we are so often getting programmed with negative messages. Sometimes it's coming from, family patterns, generation after generation, kind of passing down that worry onto the next generation, coming back from historical times. But even when we turn on the media, even when we turn on the news, right? If you watch the news, it is negative fear-based programming that is going into our minds every single day. And it's not to say that negative things don't happen in the world, they do, but there's also so many positive things happening in the world that are not being documented. The news is very biased to give us a very negative programming that over time definitely will have an influence on whether or not we believe we need to live a fear-based life where we worry about things, or live a faith-based life where we trust that things are going to go well. So be aware of the fact of what you're consuming as well on a daily basis. Like, what kinds of things are you watching on the telly? What are you reading? Are you listening to negative people or positive people? Like, everything that you're consuming is also influencing your belief systems. So it's all coming from something. But even if you've had years of conditioned programming to be in fear, you can choose to start letting it go and start stepping into fear. And I promise you, miracles will begin to unfold in your life. You will begin to start seeing all of the opportunities and all of the things unfolding in your life that you want. So if you like today's video, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your experiences with making choices based in faith versus making choices based in fear, and let me know how it goes for you. I'm sending you all so much love and light. Till next time.